Splap? I said splap. Damn it. All right.
Command says we're
There we
alive.
go. Yeah. There we are.
Hey.
And everyone looks nice until Juju gets here.
True.
God
Damn,
damn
enough
it.
bidets and bees.
No, need more.
There we go. More bees.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. It's fixed. Fixed it.
There you go.
Yes. Hello. We're back. Had a nice week off. But now we're back on a Monday.
Was it nice?
Was it? I don't know.
I don't even remember what I did with my Monday. Anyway, I had that much fun. I don't remember.
Look,
Wow.
man.
Wow.
I would be if it wasn't for the fact that we streamed on Mondays, I wouldn't even remember that it's a Monday.
I feel that.
So, last time, you all finally made it to the city of Bugan. A not great city from your experience. People slowly shuffling their way in, shuffling their way out, only really being allowed into the city walls if they're useful to the city. And that can either mean working in the mines or showing your strength in the arena known as the mall. As you entered the city, they confiscated your carriage and horses under the agreement that you all would work in the mine. Actually, I think it was Vivian and Kairos would work in the mines, and Tio... Yep. I believe they gave you a cooking job.
I think they did, yeah.
I think they did. And of course, Sharid fighting out in the arena. Once you made your way in, you notice that there are 3 primary districts within this city, separated by cliff faces in literal height order. And they seem to be connected by a series of gondolas, for lack of better words. These air cars going from station to station, riding on these cables. You were given direction to take up residence in the Warrens, the lowest level of the city, and for all intents and purposes, the most crowded and destitute of the districts of the city. Upon making your way there, you notice that this entire area at the bottom of the city doesn't seem to really get cleaned all that much. There are vagrants everywhere. As guards scarcely scour this district, people will kind of duck into alleys to avoid their gaze. And you decide to look for the contact that Sharid obtained from Carmine by the name of Lars Flintskin. And upon finding him, you kind of convince him a little bit. You let him know that you knew Carmine and have done some dealings with her. Oh boy. Hang on. Why am I frozen?
You're not frozen.
Why am I frozen?
You're not frozen.
I'm not frozen? I'm not frozen on the stream for you? That's weird.
Oh, yeah. And Mem is frozen, too. And so is Lunar.
Well.
Oh. I'm always frozen.
That's why. This man. Hang on.
We got double mem.
We got double mem. You did.
I did no such thing.
All right. Hang on. Let me fix the friggin' camera.
I did no such thing.
You did every.
Oh yeah.
Bing bong. Everyone's where they should
Garrett's
be.
just like, nice. Okay, everyone shut up. We're playing.
We
True.
came here to do business.
Business?
Business.
How much I get paid?
Well, that depends on
Not
everyone
until-
watching. Keith.
Yeah, not until we have 50.
So yes, when you entered the city, you decided to look for Lars Flintskin, the contact that Cherie had received from Carmine, and he ultimately let you into his abode after expressing your connection to the leader of the Soulforged in Uhuru. And I believe it was Sharid that brought up the topic of the Iron Guard being the reason that you are here in the city. And upon hearing that name, he ushers you into the house, closes the door, and pulls up his sleeve, revealing the same tattoo that you've seen on a number of other bodies related to this group.
Oh shit.
So, Lars, the halfling, kind of graying, brown hair, standing at a good, like, I don't know, 4 foot flat. Let's go here. This is the schmo you're talking to. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It looks like
Oh
a
god.
schmuck.
Oh god. Oh wow. Just refresh the table.
Or as we say in my country, a jagoff.
What the heck?
Oh my no.
I don't even know what that means, and I don't know if I want to know.
Pittsburghese.
Ah,
Well, this is fun. There we go. Loading in. There we go. Stop it. There we go. Now the stream can see this little halfling dick bag. So yes. After he shows you the tattoo, is there anything that any of you want to do, say, etc.?
Oh, yeah. It was Sharid talking to him before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Was
believe so,
indeed.
yes.
And we're all in this room together here?
We're all in this together.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I got distracted by somebody in chat. I said upon saying that I'd be like, so we are in the right place.
He'll say, yeah, I suppose you could say that. So what are you looking for the Iron Guard for?
Well, we have been commissioned by the Council of Aurora, seeking out a person of interest. By chance, would you happen to guess who that might be?
He looks you up and down, and he says, what do you even know about the Iron Guard?
I know nothing.
Dick Diddley, huh?
We know they're involved with some sort of assassination or sabotage.
Huh?
Hey, do you, out of curiosity, do you happen to have a pamphlet?
Sure
yeah,
don't.
a pamphlet would be great. Oh, no, that's too
No,
bad.
I sure don't. Assassinations, huh? So they've been busy.
It seemed like it. We're not entirely sure if it was an assassination. It could have been an accident.
Huh. How about I tell you all a story? He gestures his hand to a number of like stools that are set up in kind of a makeshift living area with a fireplace filled with nothing but cinders. He says, take a seat.
Just curl
Go
up
ahead
on
and
a
sit
rug.
down.
Like a fucking cat.
We sit
Um,
down.
Okay,
Our stands.
there we go. You're a stand. You're a JoJo.
No, I
You're a
stand.
Joestar. He takes a seat in a space that he can see all of you, and he says, "Something tells me your impression of the Iron Guard and mine are very different. You see, back in the day, the Iron Guard was quite literally the guard company of Bagan. And even select soldiers under that banner served the sovereign directly. Up until about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, a new breed of city guard was drafted, and any of the old guard, including myself, was run out of the mantle, that highest district up there, and back down here to the Warrens. Those that fled, planned, schemed, and ultimately devised workings to try and take back the palace for the city. But no more than a few days after being forced out was a contingent of that new guard dispatched to the Warrens, razing much of the district to the ground, hence its current state. And they did so under the motto of killing off rebels against the sovereign. And most of my compatriots died in that massacre. Eventually, over the years, the Warrens slowly recovered, air quotes, but never really regained its former standing. Quite honestly, the Warrens used to be not that much different than the lower stratum that you entered the city on. Shortly after the raising of the Warrens, the walls were closed off. Entry and exit to the city became much more selective. And power and hard labor became the main avenue for rising in the ranks of this city. And here we are today. I happened to get away, but I can't quite bring myself to escape the city.
That is very interesting. But out of curiosity, what does your organization need this specific person for?
What specific person?
Sharid is just going to stare at him for a moment. And then I would like to see if he is telling the truth.
All right,
Insight
give me an insight check. As you kind of look into his eyes, your eyes now kind of glowing kind of a bright orange with your new flamey exterior.
These eyes
These special eyes.
are crying.
You feel that he's telling the truth.
Well, as I said earlier, we hold on, I gotta look through my notes to find out the name of the goddamn person. Hothis. Okay. We were sent here by the Council of Uhura. Uhura. It's hard to say a name. I can't pronounce it in English, let alone in an accent.
Just imagine
The-
a seal making a noise.
I mean, you're not wrong, really.
Yeah. Point voice acting's hard. We are looking for a man named Hothus.
Hmm.
Apparently, he is some type of big-brained researcher, and he is believed to have been kidnapped by your organization.
Well, in all honesty, I don't think it's quite my organization that's taken him. It's likely the new breed that's taken over the city that took him in. Why? I couldn't tell you. Most of what I've been doing these days is taking what's been mined out of the arteries, selling it off for cheap so that the city doesn't retain it.
What's the name of this new breed? Or is it just called new breed?
They
Is this the city
kept
guard? Solomon?
yeah, they kept the name the Iron Guard.
Okay. Huh. You said that the Iron Guard was dispersed when a new sovereign came in, is that correct?
Well, that's the weird thing. Sovereign didn't change.
Oh. Sovereign didn't change. So this just something happened to make them not trust the old Iron Guard, it sounds like.
I could what the hell?
Oh no, what happened?
Why he got the giggles? I don't know why.
I don't know. He got the giggles and then he turned his camera off and fucked everything up.
Big oof.
Big oofs. Well, you know what? Nick's Tio, Mims Kairos. You're staying there for right now till he comes back.
Alright.
Discord really needs to let me just shift people's cameras around.
I know, I don't know why you can't.
He's so dumb. There he
Okay,
is.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I'll explain
Yeah?
later.
You alright?
Man,
You alright?
I saw something that got me really good.
Ah, yeah.
I looked up a seal video, and oh man.
Oh,
Hey.
god damn it.
Continue.
Egg.
Here, I'll post it as an incentive in the Discord. Sorry, I'll stop
There you go.
interrupting.
God. Fucking class clown over here.
I know, right?
Baby.
Trying to remember the sovereign's name.
Nick, you know that I'm now going to blast that when I get into the office, right?
Please do. Don't forget that tomorrow's Heather's first day.
That's true.
Mhm.
Tio, the sovereign's name was Mars the Marked.
Mars, I thought I remember marked. Yeah, Mars the marked.
Yeah, the sovereign didn't change. Lars tells you that he... God damn it. What the fuck is this guy doing? Nick, what are you doing? He'll tell you that over the last few years, like you said, he's just been selling off what folks have been able to mine out of the artery so that the city and that the new Iron Guard can't use it. And he hasn't been able to really deduce why the old guard was run out.
So we're chasing two rabbits on this. We're not sure which one it is that we should be aiming at.
Two rabbits.
Yeah, there's an old saying. Chase two rabbits and you catch none. You gotta focus your hunt.
Oh, I thought this was going to be another skinning phrase.
I don't understand. Why don't you just kill the two rabbits?
Because you can only catch one of them.
Why?
One will get away when you chase.
That is not very.
Unless they're stupid rabbits and they run together, then maybe you can get them.
You don't want dumb meat.
Well, dumb meat's still meat.
Hmm.
Sorry, Lars.
Uh-huh.
This happens way too often.
Do you have, like, what would you call them? Comrades? Compatriots? allies in this old Iron Guard?
He says there's not many left now. Most were killed off.
You said you can't escape from here. Why is that?
Well, it's less of a can't and more of a I can't just bring myself to do it. I was raised here.
Oh.
And quite frankly, seeing the neighborhoods that I grew up in burned to the ground has just, it doesn't sit right with me.
Well, I appreciate your kindness for taking us in. It seems, perhaps, we have a shared interest? Question mark?
Well, I think we can come to an arrangement. You all need a place to stay, right? While you're here in the city.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't say that they're the most luxurious digs, but feel free to stay here. I have a couple rooms upstairs that I don't really use. If you've got a bedroll, you can take up residence. You might wake up with some back pain, but hey, can't win them all. And in return, if you all want to investigate as you're going to, perhaps when you find this Hothus character, you might find out a little bit more about what happened to my folks.
Your folks? Do you mean your family?
No. The old guard.
The old guard.
It's a good movie.
It is. Check it out on Netflix. Hashtag not spawn.
What's a movie?
I think it's when E's. Anyways, never mind.
It's a major illusion in your brain.
It's supposed to deal with feelings and how they move them.
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about this.
That's why you go see them, because they move your emotions.
Oh. Some call them movers, actually.
Yeah. Yes.
Hmm.
Well, keep an eye out, Shareed. Or maybe we'll make our own.
So, do any of you want to ask Lars anything else, or...
I'm checking my notes for where... Sorry. I was just wondering what our leads were. But yeah, go ahead.
Do you perhaps have any idea of where a good place to start is?
Well... Remember how I mentioned that some of the Iron Guard work directly for the Sovereign?
Nope.
It seems like... Well, too bad I said it. It seems this new guard kept that same configuration. There are 3 commanders directly beneath the Sovereign. One in charge... Don't be mean to the bot. One is in charge of the guard's scouting duties. One is in charge of the commander's glory here in the city, in charge of giving out jobs and directing the city's actual troops. And one is actually in charge of immigration and refugees coming through the gates to the southeast.
I believe we met that one. Who'd you say the first one was?
The one in charge of the scouts.
Scouts.
They call him... Looking. Generating name. He's a member of the Tribunus by the name of Jagal. He's a catman. Very quick on his feet, so don't be surprised if you notice some scouts along the flare belt, and they'll make their way to and from the city every so often. But they specialize in covert operations.
Oh, I see. Okay. Is the immigration one the goblin?
Oh, Dell? Well, I guess you guys would have come through that checkpoint. So yeah, she's a goblin. Very fond of explosions.
Oh,
So I wouldn't necessarily get on her bad side.
okay. And yeah, as a side note, I'm not sure I got the name of. Oh, Hearth and Home. Never mind. I think that's where I was supposed to go next. Okay. Yeah. What do you know of the Hearth and Home?
Hearth and Home is just a very popular tavern in the lower stratum. Pretty much that's the go-to place for food and drink for the quote-unquote middle class of the city.
Gotcha.
A lot of folks who come in, make their way into the city, maybe work for a few months, tend to go there, see if they can't rustle up some jobs under the table as well as some good food.
Teal will start boiling some water to make pine tea.
Okay. Anybody else?
What can you tell me about the mall?
Ah. He kind of looks you up and down. You looking for a fight, guy?
I'm looking for coin.
Well, the mall's the place to make it. It's a big old arena, Coliseum type. In a city like this, gets a lot of business. For folks that think themselves too good to work in the mines, or simply prefer a more brutish way of going about things. No offense. It's open for anyone to participate, but not everyone can necessarily make the cut. You see, in addition to keeping an eye on the region, the scouting parties of the new Iron Guard also tend to rustle up monsters that appear either across the water in the east or native to the flare belt here. And they'll often put those beasts to work in the mall against anyone willing to compete. In addition to, pitting competitors against one another.
Sounds like fun.
And what would you say if someone were to, I don't know, use magic at this mall? What would you think would happen?
Has it happened? Yes. Are people fans of it? Certainly not. Last person I saw do it won his match pretty handily, but may or may not have gotten what's the word the kids use nowadays? Curb stomped after he left the arena.
I see.
It's seen as unprofessional around these parts. But you can certainly use it for your own survival.
He just nods and then kind of just he doesn't write it down, but you can see him like working through something in his head.
And he looks over at Vivian. How about you, ma'am? You seem rather quiet over there.
Oh,
I don't know if they're there right
Well, she continues to be quiet.
now. She doesn't talk much.
All right.
He occasionally goes into these sleep states, and it's hard to arouse her from them. Sometimes it looks like she's awake, but he snaps in front of her face. You can see
arouse.
She isn't.
Arouse, not arouse.
That's what I said.
I
Talking
don't
about
think there's
feelings again.
not a good way to say that. But he'll say, okay, well, any other questions from the rest of you then?
I said in Discord that I was doing laundry.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard that
Uh.
all in the basement.
Do people compete in the Maw? Is there a structure to it? Like, is it just one-on-ones, duos, trios?
Typically it's
fall
singles
into
or
the
doubles. I just realized I never put on any background noises. Yeah, typically it's singles or doubles.
And is the Maw within a kind of fort? What would they call it?
Night.
So wait, was there a question for me or
This was original when I came up with it, sir. Yeah, Lars just looked over at you and said, "Do you have any questions for me?"
no questions. Actually, you know what? How long do we have to be in the mines for a day, usually?
I mean, typical
Brady, why are you biting me? Go away.
typical sun up, sundown.
Ugh, alright.
Good hard labor.
Sounds like it. But no, that's the only question I had.
Perhaps if we get all the workers, the mine workers,
Unionize?
to form a collective, get the better working conditions.
Damn.
Go on strike?
UMWB.
My keyboard move.
Oh, sometimes Vivian sees cats that don't exist.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
it's a problem. I gotta work on that.
Ma'am, do you need to see a professional?
No, I'm good.
I know a
It's
few.
fine.
Here's your tea.
It's a thing, I've always loved cats since I was a kid, and
Oh, I see.
when you're by yourself for a while, make companions.
I certainly know a thing or two about that.
I also still hear that crying kid in the background.
So, I mean, if y'all don't have any other questions for me, it's not like I'm going anywhere.
No, you've
Like I
been very
s-
informative. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Next time you see Carmine, tell her don't expect a discount from me.
Is that in payment of something?
Hey, look, I'm just saying I owe Carmine a debt, and with you schmoes, it'll be repaid. So,
We were in Carmine's debt then. Gotcha.
Sounds like it.
I mean, y'all look like the type you'll be in a lot of debt at some point, but
We already are.
You're not wrong there,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
so he
Kairos,
said,
What are you thinking?
Thinking about that seal again.
Is it the egg one?
Someone's gonna have to explain. I didn't want to interrupt the stream again. But
I
someone's gonna
ain't
have to explain
explaining
to me,
nothing.
the player, because I was not. If my mental faculties were not there. So I am. Kairos is currently. I can't tell you what he's thinking because me, the player, does not have the information he needed. So
"Oh,
Can we restart
my."
this session?
consequences.
We're just gonna take it from the top.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome
Anyway, so
back.
last week.
Jesus. Here, Kairos, I've got you covered. This is the
Thanks, buddy.
story that Lars just shared with you.
Yep.
Do you see the text there or no?
I see a tattoo.
Well, hang on. Shit.
It's a start. I listened to that part. I just didn't get the specifics. Nope, just another tattoo.
God damn it. All right.
Also,
Anyway.
does this guy have any other visual
I'll pick
markings
up
on
on it.
him?
So,
Not that you've seen, other than a
Okay.
scar above his eye.
Gotcha.
do you want my Coles notes, Kairos? The Sovereign purged their guard and put in a new guard, and we don't really. Tio stops looking over at Lars. We are sure that the old guard is the trustworthy one, and that they've been dispersed to the point where they don't really have much of an organization. We're not sure where Hothus is, but we know that the new guard has 3 major leaders for the city, Flare Belt, and immigration. The one we saw on the way in, actually, the Goblin Dell. Right now, I think our leads are the mines, the tavern, and the maw.
Well, I certainly don't think it's a good idea to walk into the mines or the mall at the moment, so I think we should start with the tavern, because it's the... Well, I suppose it might not be the path of least resistance, but if we go there and try to mind our own business, perhaps we can get out without a
In the
incident.
mine.
Sounds like our best bet, to be honest.
It's the
Lar-
safest bet.
Lars will also
That
speak
matters.
up.
If
You
we
could
have to-
just ask around the Warrens as well.
So what?
As you could also ask around the Warrens as well. I mean, this is where a lot of new folks tend to come and congregate anyway.
What do you think, Cherie? You were kind of our point man.
Sure.
Wait a minute. Is there?
What?
Okay. Never mind. Perhaps it would be a good idea to split up.
Jinkies
You see
gang.
her like grabbing her chest. Like, I'm sorry. Did you just say split up?
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
Yeah, perhaps we can pursue multiple leads at once.
I have attachment issues.
I don't. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it would be wise to try to get as many leads as possible if we do split up. But this is a new city. We don't fully know what the people are like here. So it might be best for us to stick together for a little bit until we get a firm stance on how we feel about it.
Ah,
I'd
yes,
be
firm.
embarrassed to get drunk again.
Yeah, let's not repeat what happened last time. That wasn't a good look for us.
What do you mean, the part where you invited the homeless person into the fancy restaurant?
Oh no!
Is that how that happened?
Oh, we're back. We're back.
Listen, that has nothing to do with that. So let's just drop that. We already went over that.
No,
we're
I'm sure
good.
it's fine.
We're fine. Don't. She looks at the guy and she's just like, please ignore him. It's water under the bridge. But no, we don't want anything bad to happen here. Like, if something happens to one of us while we're off wandering, I don't think that could be good. Especially like I said, we don't know the people here other than how the guards are kind of like.
So is your concern for yourself or concern for me?
Yes.
Concern for the party as a whole.
Why not both?
Like, anything could happen to anyone. We don't know how the people could respond to me or you or Kairos or Tio.
People don't usually respond well to me.
Honestly, same here.
Mhm.
So that's already one notch down on us.
Lars speaks up. You know what? I can imagine.
Jareed, from what I've gathered of this town, if I'm left alone, I probably will never be seen again. So, probably not the best idea.
I agree, Kairos. For the same reason. For myself.
Well, why don't we go in pairs?
But if we want to model
See how
unity to the
fruit
people,
has any. Where would you even find a fruit big enough?
oh,
Fruit?
oh my God, Kairos! I did not expect that.
What's so funny?
It was a joke about fruit.
Fruit that is not funny?
Oh,
He's a cook, Shareed. I'm sure he has a lot of food jokes
it's
up his sleeve.
a cooking joke, yeah.
Yeah. I can see why he's laughing about that. But
It was funny,
I-
Jareed.
Your laugh.
It was a joke.
it's
You
a
laughed at
type
it.
it's a type of feeling, when you feel kind of like, I guess, happy or giddy about something that you just want to laugh about it.
Have you ever heard the sound of a seal before?
Jesus Christ.
Not this again.
I'm gonna start throwing seals into this actual encounter.
Please do. You won't.
Don't you dare.
You
Um,
won't.
I
Bet.
suppose we should group vote on this. Should we go in pairs or stay as a team?
I vote as a team.
I would say as a team.
I agree. Sorry, Sheree.
That's 3-1.
You're forced into this team.
So
You can
So-
leave, but we'll just follow you around at this point.
True.
Lead away, I suppose.
Very well.
I mean, we can act as your retainers to the maw if that will help.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. But, I mean, don't you have work in the mines?
in the mine.
Don't you have work in the mines?
No.
Thought we all had work in the mines.
Nope, just you two, Kairos and Vivian.
Damn it.
Tia was given a cooking job, and Sharid was offered a spot in the mall.
That's true.
Because y'all were like, oh, yes, she's a model or something.
Yup.
Kairos waves his hand and is just like, we'll get to that when we get to that.
I'm sure they'll give us a day off because since we just came in.
Yes, it's a part of the union rules. They must do that.
Yeah, part of the union. Yeah, yeah.
We just
Did you
want
pay your
support.
union fees?
That's why we're going to the tavern. That's usually where these sorts of fees are paid, is it not?
True.
Oh, where is the tavern on the map? Do
It's
we know?
actually
The lower sanctum.
it's in the lower stratum, but you
Stratum.
I don't see
it
Oh,
is
there. I'm
way
blind.
up the yonder way.
I see.
We over yonder?
Yoink.
Well, this was the thing.
How about we escort you, and then we can see how the city receives us. What do you think of that?
Lars like, y'all do whatever the hell y'all feel like. Just don't get killed. How about that?
Try not to.
I hope not.
I mean, whatever.
It's
Have
not
fun
a good
storming.
feeling.
Have fun storming the castle.
Is that an expression, or do you mean an actual castle?
Only one way to find out, huh?
Is there a princess at the end of the castle? Is there a
see
princess in a pink dress specifically at the end of that castle?
Very well.
Anyways.
Let us go.
Let us leave. All right. So you notice as you're walking about, you've maybe got a couple hours before sundown, and even as it starts getting darker here because of the high walls of the city, you still see flashes of light from the outside, from the sudden geysers of flame along the essentially barren wasteland outside. So as you're walking through the Warrens, everyone give me a D20.
My dice are upstairs.
Yeah, mine in my closet. Damn. That hit someone's dice on the screen. That's why I rolled that.
Sure it was.
It literally did. It hit whoever has a blue die.
Okay. Let me check my notes here.
And I will say, because it hasn't been a new day yet, right?
It is not, no.
Okay, so I'd still be wearing my makeup from before.
Okay. You do realize it's hot as hell here. Like it's that dry heat.
Yeah, she sealed it.
Yeah.
So
All right. So as you're walking about, you return in the direction of the gondola station that you took to get down here from the lower stratum when you first came in. As you're walking about the streets, you see a couple of kids playing, but for the most part, the streets are quiet. There are people in ramshackle houses, some people without any houses at all, living in alleyways. There's actually a bit of an acrid smell among the streets. You don't think that there's like good running water down here. But ultimately, you do end up at the cable station. So you wait in line, and you see a number of people dressed in rags, not necessarily full rags, but just like clothes that haven't been washed in a very long time, in line ahead of you. They seem to be wearing like these clothes are styled to be like work clothes, almost like a jumper or overalls. Your guess is that they're heading towards the mines. So it takes you a little bit to get through line, and you each find a seat on the gondola. Is there anything that you would like to do on the gondola, or just kind of chilling and going?
I would probably, I would specifically speak to Vivian, but loud enough that the other two could still hear. I would just say, like,
Okay.
as soon as we find the first sign of resistance from the guards or any sort of question about where we're going, we immediately tell them we've been looking for the mines. Understood?
Understood. Not a problem. I got you.
So I think we can feign ignorance, but we need to be the ones to speak of it first.
Fair point. And plus, we're new here. I'm sure they'll hopefully give us just like a slap on the wrist and just be, be like, tell us to be mindful for next time of the location.
Feel like there's like some people getting the shit beaten out of them below the gondola in the scene, and he's like, yes, they seem like very reasonable people here.
Sure. I don't see why they'd be so harsh on our, as much as it's our first day, we came really late and the sun's already setting, so.
As you're all about halfway up the cable, I mean, not unlike what Kairos says he saw, you do see a number of guards, not necessarily assaulting, but just closing in around a group of what you assume to be residents of the Warrens. You can't hear what they're saying, obviously, but they obviously look to be in distress. And as you kind of pan your view to adjacent streets, you can see that this happens in very small pockets all over the Warrens, from what you can tell.
Indeed, it is a common issue, it seems, here in justice.
Justice.
1 second, my food's here.
Ah, yes. The Dasher of the Doors.
The exact app I'm actually using.
Sharif,
There's just a bird that flies over to the gondola with food.
Caw-caw! Here's a burrito. Here's a burrito.
What did you say, Teal?
Approaching the maw and knowing that there's combat there, what does it make you imagine will happen?
Violence,
Violent.
death.
How does that make you feel?
I don't feel anything.
I'm dead inside.
Nothing? No different than when you have a delicious meal or when you're stabbed in the gut?
What?
Yeah, I mean, if you're referring to these types of sensations, like, yeah, I feel things in that regard, but
Yeah.
I do not fear death.
We got you to say you feel things. Okay.
Yes, and you feel things too.
I do.
As I kind of like jab him a little bit in the gut.
Ah! You got me. You're right.
Okay. So as you're all having this conversation, you hear the very loud squeaking brakes of this cable car as it comes to a halt at the next station. And as you disembark, You, of course, see crowds of people in both directions, both leaving the car that you're in and lining up ready to board again. From what you've discovered, the Hearth and Home seems to be a few blocks north of this station.
Did you want to just go straight to the mall, or did you want to stop at the Hearth and Home?
What? Why would if I wanted to go straight to the mall? Why would I have come up to the lower stratum?
Okay.
Good.
I guess so. Point made.
I thought you were just
Either way.
trying to make a dramatic entrance.
I wasn't sure if that was part of the path. Yeah.
But how would it be more dramatic to take that cable instead of that cable?
Well,
More
you wouldn't have to take a cable. You could sort of float off the edge, dramatically.
What's
Never
that?
mind. Let's go to Hearth and Home. It's fine.
Oh, no. Hang on. Of course, the map decides to hate me. God damn it. Nobody pay attention to the man behind the curtain. There we go.
Iros is looking around at this vantage point, like for the highest object in the area. If he looks towards the mantle, at the top rightmost building, is that visible in its height?
Yes. You actually see, you can't necessarily see what surrounds it, but you do see a number of peaks from what seemed to be a fortified castle or building.
I was going to ask, does it look like a castle?
It honestly looks more like a fort. But you see that adjacent to it is a large tower with very obvious battlements surrounding the top of it.
Okay.
There we go. I'm just full of technical difficulties today. So, Sharid, you do see that a lot of these cable car stations do have direct paths to the mall.
The mall.
The mall. So where would you all like to go? You would like to continue heading towards the Hearth and Home or elsewhere?
Sure you. Hearth and Home, I think you said?
Fearless leader.
I'm following you guys.
Oh, you're
It's the real
You're the
blind
one
leading the
clearly
blind
knows their way
here.
Why would I know my way around here? I've been here the same amount of time as you.
your sentiments and your philosophies seem to match the people's. We trusted your intuition.
True.
Okay, yes, let's go to the Hearth and Home.
All right.
Okay.
It's not far from here.
Nope. You walk north for a couple of blocks, and you can see, yes, almost exactly 3. And you come to a rather quaint. I'm taking care of the baby. It's a well cared for establishment. Well cared for.
It's nice.
It's nice.
Okay.
It actually reminds you of a couple of the taverns that you've seen in the city of Uhuru. Maybe not quite as lavish, but there are plenty of people moving in and out of this building. And it seems to be a very popular space.
Okay. Is there like a person working the front door, or is it just walk in?
It's just walk in.
Okay.
There seem to be a set of large double doors leading into this establishment. And
it's
Sharid
not
is
polite to laugh
dying.
at the civilians.
Dude, I don't know, man. You're right
every time I hear the name of Uhu, I just.
Ooh,
You're thinking of the seal.
See? See what you do,
I'm glad I
Kairos.
wasn't the only person who thought that was hilarious. It was funny. Also, point of order. I don't hear any sound effects.
Do you
Well,
have the
do you-
volume?
Consider yourself lucky.
Yes, I don't hear it. But I put on the stream recording, and I don't hear it
I
there
muted Streamy the stream.
Yeah, that's where the sound effects come
That's
from.
where the sound's coming from. In Discord,
either. No, it's not muted.
do you have the volume
it's
down
quiet now,
if you
yeah.
right click it?
Nope.
Well,
I just turned it. Well, it was down. It was a little bit down, but I turned it up. But like I didn't hear it in the stream either live. It doesn't matter. I just was confused.
now everyone hears more crying baby. That's why.
Was it mine? IRL? Because I didn't hear baby crying IRL. Had myself muted though.
I think I hear it's just really quiet.
It's very like it's mostly just like subtle sound effects. Honestly, the
Yeah.
most grating thing was the baby.
Play it again. I have it at like max volume.
I hear it.
I hear like rain.
Yep.
Am I supposed to hear rain?
Ish.
Oh, I hear it now.
Oh.
Maybe it was.
There we go.
Maybe it was my volume was low. It was really faint. Excuse me. Okay, carry on.
Oh yeah, we'll enter. Well, enter the hearth and home.
All right. So as you walk in, it seems to just be a single level establishment. Lots of tables, very dense. The tables seem to be long, almost cafeteria style in terms of seating. And there seems to be a front counter where people seem to be getting their food from. Tio, you do notice that there's a window leading to a larger kitchen area that's sectioned off from everybody else.
This is serving a lot of people at once. Let's try and get to business here. I'll make my way to. I guess there isn't a host here, is there? You just kind of go to a table. It sounds like.
Yes.
I'll approach the window, assuming there's. Is there a line to the window?
There is. And it's only a few people long. Most people seem to be sitting down right now.
Oh, okay. Teal will wait then. He'll just stand there awkwardly jingling the Tupperware and pots and pans that he has on him, kind of just like to bring attention to himself.
Jingle,
But
jingle,
he'll wait in
jingle.
line till he can talk to whoever's at this window.
Okay. Standing at the counter in front of this window seems to be a human male, medium build, black hair, clean shaven, in rather average clothing. Not quite the work attire that you've seen a number of people in this city wear. And he looks at you, he looks you up and down and sees the pots and pans and says, can I help you?
I think the. This is just a note check, but the guy who processed us, their name was Diedrich, is that right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Diedrich sent me here to work for you in the kitchen.
Oh.
Quite a talented chef.
He holds his hand out. Can I see your travel permit?
Oh yeah, I did have that, didn't I? We'll just like rummage through his components, drop a few like sprigs of thyme, and then give him the paper.
He looks around.
Oh, sorry about that.
he grabs the travel permit from you and says,
Sprigs
"Yeah."
of what? Only I
Sorry.
do that.
Did you run back here just to say that?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, of course he did. Of course he did. This man ran halfway across his house just to say that. He looks at the permit and says, yeah, you're meant to work here. He says, fine, we do have some space for another chef. Most people end up going to the mine, so not everyone tends to come here. He says, okay. He looks around for somebody else. And you see him waving to a a half orc that kind of walks over, and you see them kind of whispering amongst each other, and the half orc looks at you and says, "So you're a new
Hi.
recruit here?
Mhm.
Come on, come with me, and I can show you around the kitchen. You're not expected to work today necessarily, but we will want you to come in first thing tomorrow morning."
Okay. I have aspiring sous chefs with me. Is it okay if they accompany just for their own education, or is it best they stay behind?
Have they been assigned here?
Madeline, no, but I
No.
mean, I'd prefer to be assigned here. I'm very much a people person. Would love to interact with people here.
And I
Give
would
me
love
a-
to become a soup chef, as Tio just said.
He looks at the three of you.
Yes, sous chef.
I see. Give me persuasion
need-
checks, Kairos and Vivian.
Okay, that's to say, if you need me to, do
You
some
say
tables.
performance? What'd you say? Persuasion?
Persuasion.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
This is what I'm good at. Don't feel me. A 16.
Okay.
It's decent.
You said it's okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
He looks at you
17.
all. He holds his hand out. Let me see your permits.
I hand over my permit.
Same.
He looks at them. He says, so you were supposed to be in the mine with everybody else. I don't think they'll necessarily miss 2 other bodies. So sure. He points to Kairos. We'll start you on dish duty. And he points to Vivian and says, you don't look too offensive to the eye, so you can absolutely be a hostess.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Wait a minute, what are you saying about Kairos?
No, it's fine. Kairos is already making his way to the kitchen. No, it's
where-
perfectly fine. I'm ugly. I understand.
Where I come from,
Not ugly.
your friend here has what I would call a punchable face.
Are you sure
This
you
is
don't
true.
want
I've,
her
I've
in the
heard that
back?
many times already.
No, I
What was
think
that,
it's
Sheree?
rather cute. And she pats Kairos' shoulder.
Agreed. Pats as well.
Pat, 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 pat.
Pat, pat.
So, you 3 are led back into the kitchen area, which seems to take up the latter third of this building. Everything seems to be relatively well taken care of, sanitary. They seem to have just aisles dedicated to specific type of food preparation. And in the very back, you see these wide troughs that 3 or 4 people are taking care of dishes with. So as you take a look around, Kairos, you're introduced to 2 other humans, both younger in appearance. They seem to actually be in their teens.
What
And-
was the noun you used for them? 2 other what?
Humans.
Humans.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. I didn't hear that word.
One named Hugh, the other named Man.
Another
Not to be
Not to be confused with men.
Ah, good old men.
true, true.
Not to be confused with men. And he kind of leaves you for a second to kind of get acquainted with the people that would be your coworkers. Tio, the half-orc turns to you and asks, is there a specific specialty that you tend to make as a chef?
Well, what I was specializing in was good berry steaks and sauces with delicate made tartars and various steamed vegetables with its own braising. I'm curious what your water system is like here, because when we were in the Warrens, it was quite concerning.
He says, oh, well, you don't have to worry about that here. We actually have a decent water supply from the lower stratum up. Unfortunately, it doesn't get shared with the Warrens.
That's good to know, because with serving this many people, a stew of sorts would be ideal. Is your sanitation well here too?
Oh yeah. In fact, we even have latrines on the other side of the building, full rushing water.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, might as well ask what their food and safety documents while you're at it if they have it on the
Yeah.
wall.
What were you last graded?
Yeah.
Now,
But he does, based on what you stated in terms of your specialties, says that all sounds great. Would you mind preparing a sample for us?
sure. He's gonna look through the pantry, but he's also really curious as he's looking through to just kind of getting at any ideas to like where imports are all coming from. Like, is everything here just made in the city, or is there anything coming from outside the city? And at the same time, he'll make a stew.
Okay. Roll me a d20. You'll see that there are a number of there are a number of confections amongst the pantries, meats, grains, things you haven't so far seen within the city. The city seems actually very urban in terms of its construction. So you're wondering if there's any actual farmland anywhere around here.
Right. In mid-process, while he's got water on and whatnot, and maybe some vegetables prepped, he's gonna go over to Kairos. So I was doing dishes. Hey, Kairos, I got a question for you. Do you remember that cart we chased?
How could I forget? That was fantastic.
I don't remember if we saw what was in it.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I don't know if we even saw it.
I never got a chance to look, actually, because as soon as I caught to the cart, I was immediately being attacked, and then I overturned it, and next thing I know, we were in a fight in the streets.
So, although it's just a pantry, you can still learn a lot by a city by looking at it. And what I know for sure is that they definitely bring in resources from outside these walls. I'd be really curious what was in that cart that makes them interested in Uhuru. Yeah, that's all I got. So, Tia will continue back to go finish this stew and serve it.
Okay. The half-orc takes a sampling, and you see his face kind of scrunch up a little bit. Says, I think you're a little heavy on the salt and the vinegar. And is that an egg that I taste? Why? Okay.
I'm these foreign goods, they're not so familiar with me.
He made that one naturally, just for you.
Jesus.
I don't know how I did that, but I was just carrying it around. Just for this occasion.
God.
God. He's like, hang on, you want some fresh eggs? Wait just a second.
That can't be good for the sanitation laws.
Tio has an existential crisis now. What even am I?
All right. And while Tio was preparing that, the half-orc will actually take you, Vivian, out amongst the front, but keep you behind the counter.
Okay.
And just kind of gesture vaguely, be like, okay, on the west side of the building are the latrines, in case anybody asks. You'll be responsible for staffing these 3 tables here in the center.
Okay.
We tend to have a pretty consistent work base in terms of hostesses, so you'll have plenty of help if you fall behind. Have you ever worked in food industry before?
Vaguely, when we were in town together with Tio, we helped him, man some stands. So,
Okay.
got a little bit of experience there.
He pulls out a parchment from behind the counter and says, here are the specials for this week. Feel free to kind of analyze, remember those for when you come in tomorrow.
Okay.
Once you seat somebody, please rattle those off. If they seem interested, be sure to feed that to the the waiter when they come by. Okay?
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
And he takes you back into the kitchen to taste Tio's food.
I don't know how that got in there.
How what got in what?
It's an unfamiliar kitchen.
Peter, what'd you do to your soup?
Don't try this one. He'll just
No.
move the bowl away, put it on the counter.
Oh, okay.
Oh my.
Iris takes it. Don't worry, I'll wash that for you at once.
Okay,
And then
thank
immediately is like starts eating it.
Kairos, give me a Constitution check.
Oh no. Oh no.
He would have sipped it. He would have sampled it to see what was wrong. Right?
Well, too bad. You said he ate it. Yeah, sure.
I
he
know.
did.
Well, he would definitely have eaten it, but he was like testing it to see what was wrong with it because he didn't
Oh,
he
yeah.
wanted to know.
I'm sure.
I'll still give you that.
Will
con
you
check,
get the runs?
probably saving throw?
Yeah, just a check is fine.
I already
matter.
clicked saving throw.
That's fine. 17. All right. You hold up. You hear a little bit of a from your stomach, but not much further than that.
Very good, Gary. Very good.
Walk over to Kairos and be like, "Is everything okay?"
Well, I think I'll be all right, but I wasn't sure for a second there, so maybe he was right. Maybe just ignore this one. I think he put one of the rotten eggs in this one.
All right. Ugh. I mean, now, do any of the people in the kitchen seem magical at all, just from like their appearance or what could be possibly on their outfit or person?
Not that you can tell. Everyone seems to be dressed pretty similarly, pretty blandly, albeit in clean clothes. Well, as clean as you can be washing dishes and cooking. But
I was tempted to cast prestidigitation to fix the taste of
you
the
sure you want to do that?
but
You sure you want to do that?
no, I don't. I don't. I'll just stare at it with a quizzical look and be like, the color seems a bit off. This doesn't seem like the usual one. Not to be like, too off-putting with what she's saying.
Okay.
Perhaps go back to what you made before.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, because that one you made earlier was really good. I
I
swear, he is a great cook. It's just,
not-
sometimes we all have our off moments.
Not a time to
see.
explore. You're right. I was
Yeah, it's
busy
just the
working on
ingredients.
something else.
You're just not used to it here. Once you get a hand for the ingredients and what the food seems like, you'll be back to your normal self in no time.
You're right. I'm sorry. I was a bit distracted making this specialty treat, and he has a little thing wrapped in aluminum foil. I just have to give it to the customer.
Okay.
So he'll go look for Sharid.
So as you exit the kitchen, you look around and you find that your friend Sharid is no longer there.
Oh boy.
God damn it, Sharid.
We'll come back.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'll report that to Kairos and Vivian. I think our friend may have gone to the mall without us.
Wait, I'm
Of course he
sorry.
did.
He would just leave after we told him strictly that we weren't gonna split up today?
Should we head afterward?
I'd say so. That when he's trying to get a... I shouldn't even be able to say head start, like, to catch up to him at least.
Don't we need to work here?
Well, we're
Not
go- we're
today.
going on a smoke
Tomorrow.
break.
Tomorrow first thing in the
Going on
morning.
a smoke break.
Oh, no, I don't want to hear you say that again.
Jesus.
There's programs to help with that.
This was a sampling session, so when we can, we'll take the opportunity to chase down Sharid.
Okay. So we will we'll shift to Sharid. Sharid, you're a number of blocks away. You come up to what seems to be the cliff base leading up to the mantle, the next district above. You see a cable station with a number of different routes branching from it. And it seems to be at the base of this cliff are a number of holes and mine shafts dug into it that seem to go downward from what you can tell. There are a number of people funneling in and out, all in work clothes of varying degrees of cleanliness. And you see that there are steady streams of steam and smoke coming from these mine shafts. And at the very periphery of your hearing, you can hear faint explosions coming from down those tunnels.
Is there anybody who all is standing around the entrance to these tunnels?
There seem to just be very small contingents of guards just watching people come back and forth. But I mean, nobody's in such a major hurry that you're not able to flag someone down.
Sure, I try to find a guard to ask a few questions. And say, excuse me, do you have a moment to spare?
Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Kinda.
Yeah, the person that you flagged down kind of turns to you and says, "Oh, you don't seem familiar. How can I help you?"
Yes, I apologize if I'm causing you any inconvenience. Yeah, you see, I am new to Bugan, and I find this city quite fascinating. And just, what's the name of the head person of Bugan again? What was their title?
The Sovereign?
Sovereign, yes. I just find this whole place fascinating. I just curious, like, how does this city operate? Who is in charge? I've heard of this person called the Sovereign. What can you tell me about them?
Well, I haven't met them myself. I hear they're just kind of, equatable to royalty up here. They say that his family, I want to say who was his great-grandfather, actually helped found the city years and years and years and years ago. The current sovereign was a huge, well-trained soldier, won many battles, killed many monsters, and ultimately just gained the trust of the city and was kind of thrust into the position that he's in now. At least that's what I've heard.
These monsters, are you referring to the mall?
No. I mean, just wild beasts that live outside the city.
Oh.
I mean, I guess some do get brought into the mall every so often, but yeah, just like natural creatures that otherwise would have threatened the citizens here.
Fascinating.
They do say that he did kill a red dragon once.
Red dragon, you say?
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, you see, when I entered the city, they assigned me duties. I am to fight in the mall. Which does not sound unreasonable to me. I'm just curious, how does one attain a position such as yours? You know, and can you tell me more about the structure of things, so I know what rules to follow?
Sure. You're asking a guard or one of the citizens?
Guard.
Guard. Okay. He tells you that, I once fought in the mall myself, and I spent, I don't know, it was probably about 2 years there before I was promoted to be a member of the guard here. And that was, I don't know, about 3 years ago. But a lot of folks just keep on fighting, keep on showing their strength, at least in positions like mine, until they're called up. I can only hope to be in such a position as the Tribunus.
The Tribunus?
Yeah, they're the 3 commanders that work directly under the Sovereign.
Oh, yes, I heard mention of those. I believe One of them went by the name of fuck, my notes didn't save. Shit. Judai
Jagal.
Jagal. I don't know why my notes didn't save.
He says, he
yes,
says,
go ahead.
yeah, the leader of the scouting troop here in Bagan.
What type of scouting?
A little bit of everything. Keeping an eye out for monsters. Often they're the vanguard to take care of any small threats that don't involve a huge army.
I'm just gonna give up. It did it again. It wiped my notes out. Sorry if I had any hopes to follow one of the tribunal, like I must prove myself in the maw. That was what I'm hearing.
That's usually what we do, yeah. Sometimes they'll pick someone out who's really special and kind of give them a leg up, but that doesn't happen too often.
See, I
Till
see.
now.
And obviously, I can see that you have a literal tier hierarchy here in Bugan. What can you tell me about those? As I gesture up towards the mantle.
Oh, folks that live above us typically end up working more closely with the sovereign. In fact, the tribunus tend to live up on the mantle, though their duties will be scattered elsewhere. I mean, folks that, keep making themselves useful. Even Commander Olivarius, who's the tribunus that's in charge of affairs here in the city, doesn't see too much action himself, just because he's seen as indispensable, at least unless there's a huge threat.
I see. And just one more question for you, my friend. You see,
Mhm.
part of the reason I am in Bugan is I reach into my satchel and I pull out the drawing of the logo of the Iron Guard,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, somebody gave this to me, and they said I should seek out this organization. Are you familiar with this? As I hold it up.
He says, "Oh, yeah." He actually kind of brushes his tabard to the side, and you see kind of a medallion with that same logo on it. He says, "Yeah, all members of the guard have this. Although I don't see too many that are excited enough to get it tattooed on their skin."
Who said anything about a tattoo?
Oh, that's right. It's just a drawing. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So he'll just say that, yeah, every guard has essentially a medal with this on it.
Oh, I see. I see. So I on the right track then. Like if my friend who suggested I come here, I suppose the maw is where I'm destined to be then. Correct? It
He
seems
says,
so anyway.
He says, yeah, that's going to be your most direct path. I mean, if you want, you can try and get an audience with Commander Olivarius at the Commander's Glory, but I can't guarantee he'll be able to make time for you.
Commander Olivarius, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Well, perhaps I will do that, my friend. Thank you. You've been too kind.
He's kind of nods, says, sure. By the way, can I see your, it's procedure and all. Can I see your travel permit?
Yes, as I hand it to him.
All right. He looks it over, says, so you just arrived today. All right. Be sure to stop by the mall at some point today so you can get your first match assignment. That way, you're not accosted by the guards while you're here. We're trained to be very, strict with folks not doing their assigned duties.
Oh, I will be sure to do that. Thank you so much again.
Yeah.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
What are you mining here?
Oh, well, you see, Bagan's known as the City of Iron amongst the folks of the Flare Belt. So underneath the city, you'll notice that we are sitting on top of a mesa, so it's just a giant flat mountain. And it has hugely rich iron deposits, as well as a few other byproducts here and there, but mostly we mine the iron. for use with weapons, building, everything.
Of course, of course. Very well. Thank you so much. I will take my leave.
All right.
All right, and what time of day is it? Do I have enough time to go to the Commander's Glory and then the Maw?
Probably only one. Because at this point, the sun is... You maybe have about an hour or two before it starts getting really dark.
Okay. Okay. Then I will, I'll make my way to the Commander's Glory.
Okay. So it takes you about another, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes to find a rather well-built, iron-banded wood and stone establishment. And you can see that there are flags flying at the top of the roofs that bear just the crest of the city, a shield with a large warhammer imprinted on it. And as you ask around, you determine that you are at the Commander's Glory.
Okay. Yeah. I what was the name of the person that is in charge there?
Oliverius?
I'm sorry. Oliverius. Yeah. Sorry. For some reason it's not in my notes. I would try to seek an audience with Oliverius.
Mm-hmm.
If he is available.
Yeah, so as you kind of make your way inside, you see that there are a number of guards. It seems that this building also doubles as a small guard barracks. So there are a number of guards kind of just hanging about, patrolling the immediate area around this building. And before you're even able to walk up to the front door, a pair of guards flanking the stairs going up stop you and ask your business here.
I come to announce my intentions to Oliverius.
You're wanting to ask him out on a date?
No. You see, I am new, and although you may not have heard of me yet, you all will. I just want to say, I look forward to working with you all.
I see. You see that they kind of lean in and kind of whisper amongst each other. He says, I can't guarantee anything, but hang on. What's your name?
My name is Sharid.
All right. Can I see your papers?
Hand him over.
All right. He'll take it from you, and he'll just kind of like, I'll be back. And he actually walks up the stairs and into the building. So while you're waiting there, Kairos, Tio, and Vivian, you all leave the hearth and home in search of Sharid. You don't see him anywhere around the immediate area. The last place you were talking with him about going was the mall.
He doesn't even have any money.
He doesn't. What if something happens to him?
Could we carouse people nearby? Because he's a pretty notable looking guy.
Yeah. I mean, with the flaming hair covered by a bone helmet.
I'm fairly confident that that's where he went.
There's only one way to find out, right? Should we just go straight there before even asking people, just to safely assume, perhaps?
Okay.
Perhaps we could go sit and watch a show there.
Maybe get an idea of how people potentially fight in the area.
Okay.
Tia will anxiously be like looking around and fidgeting, but following along Kairos and Vivian.
Yeah.
Aw.
So you see that this area, as you start heading back towards the cable car station, this area is significantly cleaner than the Warrens. Obviously, people have better quality clothes and seem to be, bathed. But as you make your way to the Warrens, you see there are a couple, as you head to the cable car station, you see that there are a couple people that seem to be getting in line that look more like they belong in the Warrens. And as you wait in line, it's slowly you queue up to get to that front desk. And there's a human there who, older in age, just, where you going?
We're trying to head to the mall.
All right. Let me see your papers.
I hand over a paper. We're trying to meet up with a friend that was heading towards there to get his assignment from them.
All right. You see that the human just kind of looks them over, looks at you three, looks back,
Aye.
stacks them back up, hands them back, says, all right,
You know.
head to the platform on the right. Car should
Thank
be
you,
here
sir.
in just a little bit.
Thank you so much, and I'll make my way over to the right. And then I'll
Alright.
also pass back all our papers to everyone.
Never go anywhere without your passport.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So after a few minutes, the cable car arrives, and you can see that it's a real mixture of people here. You can see that there are guards, there are people that look like they come from the lower stratum, as well as a few people that come from the Warrens, as well as a small group of armored individuals who may be new to town, as far as you can tell. You're not sure. As the car slowly makes its way to the far west of the city, to this large, round construction, and the cable car seems to go to the very topmost floor of this building. And as you get off of the car, as you step onto the platform, you can see that there are large archways that open up over a tiered stadium leading to a very a large round arena. And in that arena, you can see what seem to be lions, but they seem to be covered in scales, and its tail seems to be spiked at the tip. And opposite them seem to be a man that seems to be half dragon, as well as a young dragon by his side.
Does anyone see him? Keep looking around.
If you'd like to look around, give me an investigation check.
Oh, sure.
Not perception?
No.
No, okay.
Oh.
Not bad, Tio. Oh, sweet Jesus. Tio and Kairos, you look around and you don't see Sharid anywhere around here. At least not any place that's visible, so he's not amongst the crowd, and he's certainly not around the platform that you all landed on.
Don't see him. Don't think he came this way, perhaps.
Tio, you do, with your investigation check, you get a closer look at the half-dragon and the dragon fighting in the arena at current. And you vaguely remember Sharid having a conversation with people that looked just like them while you were in line for the waypoints on the way here.
Do you think he would have tried to connect and talk to them, these contestants?
Perhaps, or maybe even talk to those that run the mall specifically.
Are there any, like, reception people or guards nearby?
Not that you immediately see. You do see the guards that stepped off the car with you. They haven't walked away quite yet.
Just kind of nervously run over to them, maybe even accidentally bump into them a little bit. Sorry, excuse me. Do you work here?
Do I work here? No, I work
yeah,
in
yeah.
the city, but I don't work
Oh.
here.
Do you know who we can talk to about... Wait, who did we just give those pass to? Oh, Tio's kind of a little nervous wreck.
Mhm.
Don't think we got that guy's name. To
He
be
says,
honest.
"You all right there?"
Just looking for someone. We seem to have lost them.
He gets a little anxious, when we're in a new place. But we're looking for someone who is like, yay tall, and she'll kind of gesture with her hands, give like a vague description of what Sharita looks like.
He's on fire.
He's on
He's
fire.
kind of on fire now.
Ah.
But he's meant to be here. He was supposed to, sign up, I guess, for something here at
The
the
guards-
mall. But
The guards look at you and say, "When did you all get here?"
not that long ago, actually.
Well, he probably doesn't have a
His hand.
fight today, but new folks that come to the mall, he might have come to get his match assignment. He points down the east corridor and says, "If you keep going this way, you'll see some stairs that go down. Go down to the very first floor, and there should be a registration desk. Your friend might have gone there."
Tio
Thank
will
you
just
so much.
perhaps unintentionally rudely, just go.
All right. And Vivian, as you're following Tio away, you will vaguely hear two of the guards kind of mumble amongst themselves. "Oh, another fire, huh? Can't stand when those folks come here into town."
Her fists tighten, but she bites her tongue and keeps walking because she doesn't want to cause a scene.
That's the
But-
point.
Yep. But when the three of them are kind of alone, she's gonna vaguely tell them if they didn't hear as well that to be on the lookout because apparently they're not too fond of fire genasi here.
I'm only more worried for our friend.
Same here. He didn't seem to have a they didn't seem to have a problem with us, but they seem to have an issue with Shareed, so we might have to watch his back for him when we're out and about. And she'll keep going to go downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. So while you're making your way down, you all of a sudden hear the crowd that's there just kind of rise in an uproar as it looks like the two combatants had defeated these scaled lions and are standing victorious over the bodies before walking into a large archway on the far side of the arena.
Oh, are they within speaking range?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I assume you all keep going.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So a few floors later, you probably went down about 3 or 4 flights of steps. And you come to a large wooden counter manned by probably no fewer than 12 people. A number of people in line, but one of the queues seems to be empty.
Just go to the empty queue, I suppose.
Sounds good to me.
There you see a human woman who looks up at you and says, "Hi, how can I help you? Are you all here to fight?"
We're looking for someone. He's on fire with bones on his head, and I got him this. And
Tio, do you want me to do the talking?
oh yeah. It's probably best you do that.
Hi,
Back
my
up.
name's Vivian. We're looking for our friend Shareed. I was told that we could come down here to possibly find him as he needs to find a match for tomorrow. Like my friend here was saying, he's on fire about yay high.
She'll look through a stack of papers and say, "I don't see anyone here who is on fire." She kind of holds up a finger and says, "Just wait a second." She's still looking at papers as she walks away. And you can see that she's asking other attendants along the counter if they have seen someone matching that description. All of them say no. Ultimately, she does come back
Maybe
and
it
say,
changed again.
she'll come back and say that, well, nobody has come and registered matching that description. We did get our daily report from the guards at the front gate that there was somebody matching that description who's supposed to have a match tomorrow, but they haven't registered as of yet.
Is it best, you guys think, if we just head back to Lars and meet back, perhaps?
Maybe go explore. Maybe they haven't
Sure.
come down here yet. Maybe we need to. Is there any other parts of this mall that potentially our friend could have gone to first before they came down here for registration?
I mean, most people either come through the front gate or come here by cable car, but ultimately they do need to make their way to this desk.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. And she'll kind of look towards Kairos and Tio, but I mean, maybe we can go look around just a little bit around this area just to see if perhaps maybe he's around here somewhere before we head back, just to, I'd feel better about it if we just looked around a little bit longer.
Could carouse a little bit.
Iris nods.
Technical question. Do genasi at all count as elementals?
Here they would be considered as such, yes. But technically, probably not. They're still considered humanoids.
Right, okay.
Oh, that's true.
I think Tio would still... If he could get into an area where he's not seen, cast Primeval Awareness to try and see if he can get a sense of elementals, I suppose, as they might relate to genasi. It has a mile range.
Okay. Interesting. Is that a spell or a feature?
It's a feature.
So then I wouldn't say you necessarily need to like cast it or anything.
It does
Essentially
use
just
a
kind of-
spell slot for what it's worth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you actually pick up a few readings intermingled between the mall, the Warrens, and the lower stratum.
You'll follow the one that he. I think I have an idea, as you'll like sniff in the air and just kind of assess the tracks. Follow things on the ground. It's like I think maybe this direction. You'll try to go to the lower stratum direction.
Are you
Little
still
distance there.
Are you still on the ground while you're heading that direction, or do you stand back up?
No, I think Tio would like hound dog it.
She grabs you by the collar gently, helps us have you stand up. Like, that's gonna cause more of a scene. People
Oh,
are gonna
really?
look at us.
Oh,
Try to stand up and search, maybe, if you can.
okay. Okay. I'll try my best. He'll
I was going to suggest that we think like Sharid and think about where he would go, but this seems a lot more fun.
Does seem like fun. We need a little bit of that because we're always so serious.
All right. So you said you're going to head towards the reading that you get from the lower stratum.
Correct.
Yes, that seemed most likely.
Okay. So you start heading up the stairs. How long does that last? Is it just kind of like a burst, or is it continual kind of radar
it
of
lasts
sorts?
a minute.
Okay. So as you start heading back up the stairs to head back to the cable car station, you do feel that one of those readings that you were getting starts to approach the arena floor as an announcement comes over, essentially declaring the next match. And out come a number of humanoids, none of which look like Sharid. A number of them look like amateur adventurers. And the announcement says that their opponent today is going to be the man known as Starkiller. As a single person walks out, you can't tell too many features other than a set of brown dreads tied up in a ponytail, wielding a bow and arrow.
Any markings that we can decipher from where we're at?
Not from where you are.
Can I approach closer to see?
Yeah, once you hit a landing of one of the other floors, you're able to make your way down the steps. But even still, you're, I don't know, probably about 60, 80 feet away.
Damn.
But they seem to be in pretty well-made gear. Probably a set of studded leather, well taken care of, and they seem to be playing to the crowd very well. It seems like this person's been here for a fair while.
Just looking at their wrist specifically.
You don't see anything.
No? Okay. Alright, then I will make my way back over to Kairos with you.
Did you see anything of note?
Sadly, no. Just seems like they're the crowd favorite. That's the only thing to know. So, probably a worthwhile opponent for anyone to go against here. Maybe it'd be good for us to maybe stay and watch just a little bit to get an idea of how this person fights. Because they are using a bow and arrow, so it's definitely not a technique I was expecting for what was described for this place, in my opinion.
Well, it's assuring to me if I end up in the case.
And maybe if we wait long enough to, maybe Shuri will come down here, perhaps. Unless, we'll give it a little bit, and if not, then we'll just head back to where we need to meet up at, possibly.
What would be the
Lars.
tail end of the readings that we get?
You do feel like one of the primordial readings that you felt is still in the arena floor. You still feel one or two in the lower stratum, and then not much has changed in the Warrens.
Not sure if here, or Stratum, or Warrens.
I mean, would he have any reason to go to the Warrens at this time?
I wouldn't expect the Warrens, no. I would expect here, or the Sanctum. Do you think here? What do you think, Kairos?
We are already here.
Okay.
This is most likely the place that he went. Probably the best place to start.
Should we get a good seat?
And so, that was what I was going to ask. Is there, that Star Killer guy, is he coming out to battle, or did we just see him?
No, he was coming out to compete.
Okay. And we can see, like, the main area of the Colosseum, like the fighting pit?
Yeah.
Okay. So while they were doing that, Kairos would have been like, is there like a food vendor nearby?
Yeah. I would assume that you'd be able to find someone.
Yeah, Kairos would have definitely, which is out of character for him, because normally he doesn't like the crowds. Something about this place, man. He just went off and went to a food vendor. You still see him. He didn't like wander away, but like you just see him. You go to talk to him, and he's like getting food at the vendor, and like turns around with like a bunch of stuff, and is like, "Well, I think we should stay here for a little while and check things out." And just like starts stuffing his face while he's like watching, like, yes, murder.
All right.
I mean, what snacks did you get specifically? Because I'm curious about food, not gonna lie.
Snap it to a Slim
Depends on what's
Jim.
available.
Is there any cotton candy? Like they would have at a circus?
Probably
Popcorn?
not like cotton candy or string sugar, but they probably have like some. I can't say this with you two specifically, Sharid and Kairos. Glazed nuts.
Okay.
Yep. See that? See what the fuck I'm talking about?
And they fucking smirking. I see it with my own 2 eyes.
Can't fucking take you two nowhere.
Well, Kairos certainly would have gotten his nuts glazed and then gone to go sit down at the
Yep.
down in the seat.
God.
Hate it here.
You
All right.
know what? I'll go get an order
You
of that, then
you-
I'll sit down next to Cairo.
You literally willingly walked into that fire on your own. I can't.
Oh, I
I
know.
can't blame
I know.
anyone for you.
No, I'm fully aware.
You know, that one
So
can't blame
so
us.
you're all sticking around the mall for right now, hoping that
Yes.
Sharid's gonna come by. Okay.
Yep.
So that's where we'll leave this group, And as we switch over to Sharid, we're going to take about a 5-minute bio break. So we'll be right back. All right. So we should now be back. Let's make sure I didn't destroy everything.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, Shareed, the two guards come back, and out with them comes a rather stocky fellow. Seems to be a human in well taken care of, rather ornate for what you've seen for the city, black armor. And they make their way down the stairs. And you can tell from this guy's gaze as he looks at you, it almost sends a shiver up your spine. Just a bit. And the guard that's escorting him introduces him. This is Commander Tribunus Olivarius. This is the man you wish to speak with. Please make it quick. He has plenty of other duties that he needs to address after speaking with you.
Very well. You see, Commander, I come to save us both a lot of time. I have services that I wish to provide.
And what
I'm a
services
man
would those
of
be?
many talents. And from what I have seen of this city, you have need of them.
What services are you suggesting you can provide here?
You see, I'm not entirely ignorant of what goes on in this city. And I
And
am sympathetic to the cause.
and what cause might that be?
One does not wish to freely speak of such things. You see, I just came to declare my intentions. You can either take me on now, or if you do not trust me, remember my name, Sharid, for I will prove myself.
Give me a persuasion check.
My specialty.
Okay. All right. He opts to not respond to your offer. And he says, maybe if you don't die in the mall, we'll see what happens. And he just kind of waves you away, and the two guards kind of close ranks at the bottom of the stairs, and he starts making his way back up.
As I say to one of the guards, do you happen to validate parking?
Validate what now? All right. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
I mean, I probably should have returned to the mall, but if you're seeing it is rather late, I don't know. Yeah, let's. I will try to hurry back to the mall as quickly as I can for registration.
Okay.
Disregarding time of day, like if it gets
Yeah.
late, I still will do it.
Okay. So give me just a flat d20. Okay. So you kind of put a little pep in your step. Let's see where you are. Yeah, you end up going back to the same cable car station that you arrived at the lower stratum on. And you catch the first car that you can, and you make your way over to the mall. As you are over top of the city, you see that the sun starts to set behind the walls. Now the only real illumination that the streets get are from the occasional just bright bursts from the geysers outside. The car still goes to the mall. You can hear crowds cheering. You can hear the sounds of combat. And as you arrive, we're going to switch back to the others. Okay?
Can you move me, or do I have
Yeah,
to move?
I'll move you. So let's see how badly this fucks shit up.
There you go.
There we go.
Hola.
So desu ka?
Ah,
God damn it. God damn it.
wait, this car.
Wait. Have I
Desu ka?
fucked everything up?
tried-
I
know,
have.
but it's
Oh,
can't-
hang on.
My brain can't think of what it is right now.
Oh shit!
That's
But I
slightly
mean,
better.
I can ask you, like.
Yeah.
Aha!
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There we
I can
go.
ask you if you understand Japanese, but yeah,
See,
anyways.
eventually I would
Hello.
get it right.
Julian was the DM for a second.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it. Make it happen. Done it before. We'll
Oh, shit.
steer. We'll make
Taking
this
turns?
blight. Oh yeah, it'll take
No.
a turn, all right.
Well,
They
did
don't
I can
you-
tell you, it'll take a
Did
hell of a
you-
turn.
Did you?
something.
I saw that your message. Like, did you watch the live stream?
I did not. I just saw
Okay.
that you guys were there. I had
Yeah,
you
that-
muted. I just
Yes.
wasn't sure if you wanted everybody else not cast to see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
No.
yeah.
All right.
So, we were not supposed to watch, but they were allowed to.
Correct.
correct.
Got it. Okay.
So, as you all sit down, Vivian, Kairos, and Tio, as you sit down to watch the match, you see that these three seemingly fairly advanced not advanced, but like experienced warriors enter the mall opposite this one individual with a bow and arrow. And it starts out as you would expect. The three try and kind of flank this ranged attacker, one bearing a shield just to kind of close distance, and the others kind of fanning out to give more widespread targets. But you see that the man that they introduced as Star Killer kind of back up as far as he can. You see him pull 3 arrows from his quiver, load them onto his bow, and all at once and at rapid succession just kind of give a sweeping motion, releasing the arrows one at each fighter. And
Geometry.
it almost seems like the arrows bend in the air. I don't know what happened there. But one obviously bounces off the shield. The other 2 get shot in the upper thigh. Ultimately
Would Kairos
slowing
have
them down.
detected perhaps the use of a force that maybe was magical in nature that was used there?
Not from that shot, no. You see that he then quickly loads 3 more and aims all 3 of these in a concentrated shot at the one bearing the shield. Now, the shield seems to be iron banded wood, and the arrows fly in just a straight shot, one sticking into the wood, the other piercing into the back of that arrow, pushing that first arrowhead further into the shield, and then the last hitting the exact same mark, ultimately going all the way through the shield and pushing that first arrowhead into the fighter. And just as he does that, he kind of plays up the crowd, just like, yeah, yeah. And you hear people start cheering. A couple seem kind of just like suspicious, but like, that was too good of a shot. Bet this was planned.
Kairos is stuffing his face. I think he used magic.
You think you used what?
Wait,
Magic, you know the thing people aren't supposed to use here? I think that guy used magic.
I mean, that did seem.
Sus.
It did seem sus, yeah.
And quite frankly, not long after, the two that were shot in the leg start to try and charge again, taking 2 other arrows, each in a shoulder. And ultimately, they all just get pinned one after another with a total of about 20 arrows before they can actually close distance, disabling their legs and arms so that they can no longer fight, but not really hitting any fatal marks. Ultimately, they are left unable to compete, leaving this man known as Starkiller the sole victor. And the crowd kind of erupts in a cheer, a mixture of actually cheering and booing. My leg!
Knew I was
As
coming.
the 3 adventurers are ushered out on a wheeled wagon, and Starkiller makes his way back into that gated entrance at the very far end of the arena. And it's about this time that, Tio, you look back, you see Sharid coming down the steps in the general direction of the registration desk.
Tio will like just elbow Kairos and Vivian. Look, point over where Sharid is.
Oh, hey,
my
Shareed's
SARS?
back. Shareed, come here, check this out.
Oh, wait, so are they in the arena watching, or they could see me walk into registration? Where?
So essentially the seating essentially raises up at different levels, and you can see the halls that folks will walk through and down the stairs to. So they essentially just spotted you.
So
Son of a bitch. I'll catch up to you.
I put my hand up and just as I kind of acknowledge, but don't walk over to, and then just go over to registration.
Immediately, as soon as you do that, you see Vivian put her hands on her hips like an excuse me? You did what? Just now? Like, she is not having it. But she'll wait for you to come over here before you get your scolding.
Roughly how far away is he?
He's probably about 80, 90 feet away. And
I need to check if
gaining
Steve is
distance
still
as he
verbal,
goes
so-
downstairs.
Could I sleight of hand Hunter's mark on him?
What are the components for that?
Just vocal.
Really, it's VSM for fucking message?
Give me
I mind spike his ass? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, mind sliver?
give me a
Mind
stealth
spike.
check at disadvantage.
Alright. Is that control? That's control, right?
Yes.
We're gonna get kicked out. We're gonna get kicked out.
Eo's gonna get kicked out. We're fine.
Yeah,
We don't know
so
this man.
essentially you start kind of whispering to yourself. You think you're whispering to yourself, but you're almost speaking in your lizard folk tongue that just becomes just kind of just hisses and clicks. And the folks sitting next to you are just like, the fuck are you doing?
It's vulgarities.
He had anxiety. He should.
I had-
You know.
My neighbor's ex-girlfriend's sister was a lizard. I would think I would know the vulgarities that your people speak. Thank you.
It's a Kohai swamp dialect.
You're from one of them backwater places, huh?
You got me there. You got a good assessment.
I see.
I thought the yokai manufactured watches.
Boo. Boo. They ultimately notice you. They do notice a slight sparkle in your hand, and their eyes get a little big. They don't say anything, but they saw it.
Oh, And I've noticed, I get this kind of notion that they may have seen, right?
And
Yeah.
and right as they notice that, I'm going to pretend to sneeze and then be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I think a little bit of my highlighter just came off with that. I'm so sorry." And I just going to, pull out like a handkerchief from my bag and try to clean up where his hands are at,
Hmm.
just to,
So
hopefully cover that up.
I'll say for the sake of this, you did get Sharid with the hunter's mark. It just wasn't that stealthy. So you are able to tell that he is at the registration desk.
It was 2 people that noticed?
Yes.
Tia
There's a
will
couple just immediately adjacent to you, yeah.
Yeah, you'll just lean to them. The show is quite distracting, isn't it? And you'll hold over 20 silver.
Do you have 20 silver?
I'm almost out of money.
My God.
They'll look at you and say, certainly is. And they'll just take it without another word.
Oh boy. Oh,
So-
now we're bribing people?
I mean, hey, do what you gotta do. Sharid, you
When in Rome.
reach the bottom level of the mall, and just as they did before, you see this long counter space manned by about a dozen officiates.
Yes, I have come with my papers.
They'll hold their hands out expectantly, and they'll take your paper from you. And they just sit there for a moment, kind of reading through your travel permit, and say, "Oh, I think a group of friends of yours were looking for you earlier. I'm not sure about it. They're real weird. There's a lizard. There's a human man, real punchable face. I'm not a fighter, but I mean, and a real tall lady. I don't know if you know them, but just keep an eye out."
Who?
In the background, Sharid! Us!
So she shuffles through what seems to be a logbook of sorts, and she says, "Yes, your first match is midday tomorrow, and it looks like your opponent is actually another newcomer. They actually just had a fight today. They were really eager to get started. You'll be fighting when I find the names, the Marlasar brothers. And I say brothers very loosely. Real weird guy.
Oh, very well.
Is it just you, or do you have a partner?"
This is just me.
All right. Well, we'll see you at midday. Be sure to arrive a little bit early before your match. That way we can kind of brief you on where to go, what the rules are, so on and so forth.
Very well.
All right.
Thank you so much. And I leave.
All right. She hands you your paper back as well as essentially a ticket-sized pamphlet with the information for your fight. And she just waves you off.
And I exit the mall.
Does Sharid
Alright.
wear armor?
Barbarian, nah. So Tio, you notice that the marking that was on Sharid is leaving through the first floor exit of this building.
He'll track it. And let Kairos and Vivian know. Like, I think he's going in this direction. Just moving over the streets.
I immediately storm off after him.
All right.
Like an upset parent would.
How long does Hunter's Mark last?
It's
It's like 24 hours,
Like
isn't
an
it?
hour. Yeah.
Is it?
That's a long time.
pretty long.
Pretty hefty, pretty bigly.
Yeah, an hour.
Okay. So Sharid, where do you head?
Oh, I had to bed.
So you're heading back to Lars?
Yeah.
All right. So essentially, you spend the next hour tracking Sharid back to Lars's house. Everyone, give me a d20. To be expected. Also to be expected.
I can't roll. I'm like Marisha. I'm cursed.
All right. All right. Okay.
Nick, what's your con mod?
7.
Your modifier is 7?
+3.
For sure.
Okay.
So yeah, you just essentially weave your way through the Warrens, among the grungy, dilapidated streets. And Tio, you can tell that he's heading back to Lars's house,
Yeah.
just based on
Convey that.
where everything is kind of figured. So,
No.
is there anything else that y'all want to do on the way, or no?
I mean, for me, just, the usual, keeping an eye out for, other, I guess, suspicious people or people that I might potentially recognize from my past.
Okay. You wouldn't necessarily see that, but Vivian, as you look up, you do see that there doesn't seem to be a moon in the sky tonight.
There isn't a moon?
Correct.
Is that normal for,
It's
in this
I mean,
area, or?
It's a new moon, so yeah.
Okay. Does that make me feel any different, or?
You're not sure yet.
Keyword yet. Alright. Sounds good. Makes me a
All right.
little anxious, but, play it off. Cool. Calm, collected.
So you all ultimately return to Lars's at the same time. Not at the same time. Sharid, you get there a few minutes earlier. And Lars regards you like, oh, you're back, huh? Finding anything fun?
Yeah, not really.
All right. He'll kind of point you up the stairs, and like, if you're looking to catch some shut-eye, it's that way. I only got 2 rooms, so you're probably going to bunk with somebody.
Actually, I do have one quick question.
Mhm.
Before my friends arrive, make no mention of this, but what can you tell me of Oliverius?
Oliverius rather rose through the ranks rather quickly after the new guard was established. I don't know if it means anything, but he seems to be the sovereign's lapdog.
Interesting. All right, upstairs you said.
Yeah.
Good evening.
99. And maybe about 5 minutes after that, the rest of you arrive at Lars's. He's like, well, how about you all? Did y'all find anything? Have fun?
Yeah. Did Sharid come in here?
Oh, yeah, he went up to bed.
Oh, he went up to
Perfect.
bed? Alright, I'll be right back. And you just see her storm upstairs.
Hey, don't break my floors.
I'm trying not to.
Team will follow.
I feel like Kairos is holding a souvenir. Like he's like decked out like a little kid. Like
Got a
foam
foam
weapons
finger.
and like yeah.
Yay!
He just follows.
Got a fucking propeller hat and shit.
And I'll just start knocking on the first door I see.
Okay. So, Sharid, you just hear just aggressive knocks on the door.
Oh, it's my door?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be somebody else's?
You're the first door.
I assume you'd probably take the first available room, right?
Oh, I was just hoping it wouldn't be. Come in.
Oh, I swing that door open. I immediately cross my arms. I'm like, I thought we discussed that we were gonna stay together. What was this that happened today?
Agreed.
Oh, he's giving me the silent treatment. Wow. We were all worried sick, don't you know? We were
Don't you
out here
know?
looking for you. We listen, the Midwest has affected me a lot recently. I can't help it. um, that lost me. I'm so sorry.
Are you speaking us to now, not now, or something? What has happened?
Oh, I preferred to be civilized.
Sorry,
Civilized?
civilized?
Yes.
We could still be civilized as a group.
Perhaps you could try lowering your volume.
The reason I have this current volume is because we were all worried sick. We didn't know where you went. Luckily, we went to the right place because we assumed that you would have gone there. But we discussed as a group that we were going to stay together because we didn't know these people yet.
F is for
And-
friends who do stuff together.
You is for you and me.
And it's for
Anyways.
anywhere at any time at all.
Down here in the deep
You're in
blue
the
sea.
deep blue sea.
All right.
But, and not even to mention that I heard a conversation from the guards that apparently they frown upon people that are of fire genasi descent. So that has me even more worried because now that puts you with a huger or a bigger target on your back. And there's someone else here. There's one other person, I believe, that has the same resemblance of being a, I guess, a fire genasi. But still, that's, again, something to be concerned about. And hence why we should stay together as a group when at all possible. You shouldn't have just run off like that.
Maybe I haven't made some things clear to you, Sharid, but I want to trust you, and when you take off like this and claim to be more civilized, the only thing I'd love to say to you is that this will be the last and only time I will ever hunt you down on friendly terms. And Tia will now leave.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, my.
And you just see Vivian just kind of give you a what the fuck kind of look. Was what the hell did you
The
just
drama!
say?
The drama!
Kairos just not Kairos. Tio just went full taken.
I'm not responsible for what you just said.
I will find you.
I will kill you.
If you ever leave me again, I'll fucking gut you in the streets, you son of a bitch.
I did
Vivian.
not know he was gonna say that, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
What type of moon is it out tonight?
It's a new moon.
You hear from down the hall. It's a new moon currently in this, and he goes off and explaining the phase.
Oh yeah, like a weather announcer would.
Yeah, but his voice just sounds distant.
Goodbye.
Yeah, there's no moon in the sky, so it's a new moon. Why?
I will remember this.
Was this turn the Walking Dead Telltale games all of a sudden? Close title, remember this?
Yes.
What do you mean, remember?
Don't moon phases run monthly?
Oh, God. So
has no
fucking
comment
rude.
on that.
So fucking
Wow.
rude.
Listen. And she uncrosses her arms and walks further into the room. Do this again, and I ain't gonna be as nice about it. I was genuinely worried. We all were. We discussed, we even voted that we were going to stick together. It's potentially dangerous, especially for you being what you are right now. Because apparently they don't like fire genasi. At least the guards don't. I don't know how the other people feel. But I also know from what I saw in that match, magic is potentially being used. So people are not playing by the rules of, no magic. Before you go taking off, just think of how we might feel next time. And she turns around to walk out.
Tia's gonna go down to that hearth and throw that aluminum foil treat into the fire, and then pull out a charm bracelet and reminisce over the last gift he had from his own family.
Aww.
Bracelet
my
that
God.
says best friends, and he throws it into the fire.
No more!
Not anymore.
You lost your chance. Okay.
Yeah, but then Vivian will just go into the other available room. So, whoever wants to bunk can bunk, but
Yep. So as you walk into that room, you see that there is pretty much only room for 2 people in this room.
Oh,
Well,
Tia's just gonna sleep on the rug.
And just downstairs in front of the fire.
Yeah,
Like a house cat.
yeah.
oh my god.
Where's Kairos sleeping?
How many rooms are there?
There's 2.
Uh,
So there's one
there's-
that I'm in and one that Shreed's in.
Yeah, there's 2 empty rooms and then a third room that seems to be full of boxes.
Yeah, Kairos is in neither of those rooms currently. He is currently in the room with the boxes. As you guys come out, you see Kairos in this other spare room, rooting around.
So retcon. Before I go into my room, since if I notice him doing that, I'm like, and I'll go down and whisper, I'm like, what are you doing?
He's like startled, like he didn't expect someone to see him, and he's like, "No, just looking." And you see him like put something back into a box real quick. It's
No,
just
Can't a man just do
No,
what he
we-
wants to do?
Can a man get some
well, listen,
I just
she holds
wanted
her-
to avoid the conflict, so I came in here. It seemed interesting, and then here we are.
Mommy and Daddy were
She'll put her hands up and be like, listen, all I want is trust between all of us. You're more than welcome to not tell me what you just had in your hand, but if you want to, you can.
Oh, I don't mind sharing. It was a book. Seems there are some books in these boxes.
What kind of books? And she's actually kind of curious about this.
I open the box back up and look at the books. What kind of books?
They seem to range all kinds of topics, from history to even a few about various types of rudimentary combat, and even 1 or 2 about spell gems or magic.
Well, we all
Anything
know
of-
which one I would be interested in.
I was gonna say, is there anything like about other types of creatures or about any other? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess like or like I guess some type of organizations that aren't as well known that people don't really speak about, that kind of hush hush potentially, or any like types of documentation as such, or like trials.
Not
the
in
Dummy's
this.
Guide to the Illuminati.
Not here.
Not here. None of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that I
that
would take it. I don't know that I would take anything, but I would be looking around for anything that would catch his eye as an interesting book specifically in the spell gem magic area. He'd be looking around for maybe a book he's never seen before. So,
Yeah, there are a couple. Most of them seem burned and tattered, but yeah. So do you grab one, or do you just make note of it?
no, he would grab it just to take a closer look.
Mm-hmm.
He'd try to inspect them a little bit and try to make out what's like, what is it, especially the burned ones.
They seem to be
The more worn, the more interesting.
They seem to be research notes, but most of it's burned away. Your guess is that they were caught up in the original raising of the Warrens. What you gonna do, Kairos?
It's probably gonna backfire, but Kairos is Kairos, so he would probably grab them, immediately walk downstairs, like just past Vivian, like excuse me, and then just go downstairs
ahead.
to ask what's his face, Lars.
Mm-hmm.
And just be like, Lars, can I keep these? Found them in the other room. They're burnt anyway.
He looks at the books. The spines are more or less illegible. They look like they've been burned. There might be some water damage as well. He says, I mean, most of the stuff that's up in those books was just recovered from some of the burned houses around here. I don't see why not. Let me take a look real quick. He kind of flips through them a little bit. Says, yeah, there's nothing here I can use, so have at it.
Fantastic. Thank you. Do you want anything for them?
Nah. Consider it a freebie.
Much appreciated. I'll be sure to return the favor whenever I can.
All right. Does anybody want to do anything else before turning in for the night?
Just
I
to get
do.
sleeping. Oh,
Yes.
sorry. No,
Kairos.
go ahead, Kairos. Go ahead. I'll ask
Uh,
afterwards.
Back up the stairs, Kairos would enter in the room with Sharid and close the door. Just naturally. But then, Sharid, he wouldn't even say anything to you. And maybe Vivian should go first, because this might pique your interest. Because he immediately just goes over to, let's say there's a desk or something in the room, pulls out the things that he just got, make sure like that the shades are drawn, that no one can see in the room, looks around his shoulder to make sure no one like followed him into the room, and casts mending on the papers in the books.
Okay.
I don't know how that works with books, but
What do you have there, my friend?
oh, we're friends now. Well, if you must know, found these in the other room. Seemed interesting. That they were burned in the Warrens potentially.
Let's see. I would say with mending, because you have all those individual pages, it does take you a while, but
Yeah.
I don't see why not. So it takes you it'll take you a good couple hours to probably mend all 3 of the books that you pulled out.
Yeah, I mean, he would do it until the middle of the night. Like, he would just work through the night
Okay.
and just be, like, reading them and studying them as they go.
Okay.
And he goes, and before, you know, as he starts to do that, and after saying what they were, he would just say, you're entitled to do what you wish, but just let us know so we don't worry. I won't press you for where you've been. You did miss a good fight, though. And do let me know before you leave in the morning. I'd like to give you something that would help you in yours. I'm assuming you are going there tomorrow, yes?
Yes, indeed I am. What?
Very well.
Perhaps it is best not to know at all.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, said perhaps it is best if you do not know where I go.
I don't need to know where you go, but if you go into a place that you think you'll be at a fight, let me know in the morning, okay? That's all I ask.
Sharid looks at him like, Are you an idiot?
Look, okay, we both know where you're going. Just remind me in the morning before you leave, all right? I'll give you something to make your fight a little bit easier, and I can't do that out of this room. Understand? Can make you a bit faster in the start of the fight. Get an early advantage.
I will not reject such a gift.
So, just so the whole group remembers, because it'll be a full week before we probably end up doing this. I want to give him Gift of Alacrity in the morning.
assume that's what you
everyone
wanted to
remember
do.
that I want to give him Gift of Alacrity before he leaves.
Right.
Got you.
Super.
Don't you worry.
So I assume you bunk with Sharid, Kairos?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just like
So-
sitting on the floor right now, putting pages back together.
Yeah.
And Sharid passed out.
So Vivian,
That
you end
answers my
up
question.
bunking alone.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
I take up the whole bed to myself then.
So as the night comes, the streets outside become extremely dark, except for a few lanterns here or there, and the streets grow relatively quiet. The Warrens were always quiet, but it almost becomes eerie at night, and that's where we'll pick up next week.
Ah, man.
So
What a
thanks
good
everyone
session.
who watched.
Thank you.
Sorry for all the camera issues, Juju.
Look, seals make funny noises. I can't help it.
God damn it. All right. So we'll see everyone next Monday. Same time, same place.
Oh, yeah.
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 So bye-bye.
Love your faces.
Bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye,
Goodbye.
bye-bye.